Hello, beautiful people, and welcome back to another episode of Beyond the Veil, a podcast on psychic protection, spiritual hygiene, and navigating the ebbs and flows of the healing journey as you learn to master both your sovereign and shadow selves. My name is Lauren on Earth, your host, and today, this episode is going to be about what I see in the energetics of politics. I'm not going to get into certain policies and kind of go down that rabbit hole. This is more so as an intuitive, as a professional who deals with energy all day long. This is just simply what I'm seeing within the party itself and between both candidates as well, kind of doing an energy read on them. I just want to start out by saying that I am not affiliated with any political party. My viewpoint is the entire system is corrupt and needs to go, and neither party represents my personal values and morals. I am not a Trump supporter. I am not a Kamala supporter. I'm not a Democrat. I'm not a Republican. I am sharing my viewpoint and belief about what is going on energetically between these two candidates. Like I said, as a professional psychic reader and energy healer who has been developing this skill set professionally for 6 years. For someone who works in the shadow realms, who has a track record of being correct in my ability to discern illusion. I know I'm talking in third person. I'm not saying you should believe me. And I'm not saying that you should take everything that I'm saying as complete truth. My intention really is for you to just maybe see things a little bit differently than you have in the past. I'm saying that I know what I've been through. I know what I have seen, my journey through darkness. I am confident in my read on this because of my history. And again, all alleged, all for entertainment purposes only. But this isn't something that I'm just taking and running with. Politics, education, law, banks, Hollywood, all of these systems, like everything was created by a group of souls, beings, humans who have a negative intention for this planet and for the people of it. They came here with no intention to live harmoniously. They are greedy, controlling, oppressive. They lack empathy, decency, humility, among many other things. In my opinion, the majority of these souls are reptilians. There are others involved, but I feel it's mainly reptilian control and a reptilian system that we are living within. And this is coming from someone who has extensive knowledge of many dark groups, thanks to them, because I wouldn't have gone so deep into understanding them if they didn't force and manipulate their way into me. And again, I know I chose this. I know I am not blaming them. This was a co-creation, but what I'm saying is the only reason I know so much about who they are is because it was inside me. And as I'm pulling this energy out, I'm learning about them. And now I can sniff out their energy anywhere. I see right through the mask that they've tried to put on, that they've honestly put on for still, that still is there for many people. And it's a skill, and it's a skill that now comes very easily to me. Reptilians, your system sucks. Have you ever looked at or asked to look at the energy of the government, like the energy body of the government? Because to me, it looks like a brown pile of garbage and it like oozes goo. And it's a pretty good representation of the group behind the creation of it. I'm not going to sugarcoat it anymore because I feel like I've been trying to stay neutral between light and dark because, again, I know it's all a game and it's all part of the experience. But I think it is also okay to say that these beings are vile. Um, And not all of them, I don't want to offend anyone, not all of them, but the majority of them as a collective consciousness. And I'm just going to call it like it is, because they have no intention for unity, for love, for peace. That's just not what they're about. And we're not going to be able to move past this as a collective until we see it for what it is. And then we can come back into a place of acceptance. They also work with the Greys, the Anunnaki, the Nephilim, the fallen angels, the Archons. They all work together. But what I'm saying is our system is a group effort, but mostly a reptilian creation. So I'm going to just call it or refer to these elites as the reptilian collective, those in charge, Hollywood, politics, the Illuminati. You get it. There's a lot of names for it. It all ties back to the Antichrist. But yeah, my belief is, pretty much everything we've been taught is a lie, but it's okay because we will find our way back to the truth. And there are so many beautiful souls, maybe some of you that are listening, who have been working tirelessly to protect that knowledge, that truth, that wisdom over many, many, many lifetimes. And we will find our way back to it. And there's really no need to panic. Our political system was created to make us think that we have say in things, but in reality, the people at the top of the pyramid are going to stay in charge. And those that are trying to make a change, who do get into a place of power, who do have a better intention, are often booted out. It's becoming very easy to see who is part of this big family and who is not, because many of them are taken off planet. Cue Liam Payne, Anthony Bourdain, Avicii, Brittany Murphy, Tupac, the list goes on. Kamala Harris is completely taken over by this energy, by this collective. She's part of it. It's not just that she's been infiltrated. She is one of them. She is part of it. She is a puppet to a group that has no interest in the betterment of humanity. And Biden is the same. There literally is no difference to me in how they are going to run this country. So we've seen what has happened over the last 4 years. This is just going to continue. I'm sorry to those who have supported her, who still do. It's not my intention to do anything other than speak this truth, because everyone deserves to see it. And then you make your decision based off that. And it's okay if you don't see it or don't want to see it as your truth. But unfortunately, this is the reality. Energy does not lie. It's okay to just let this marinate without immediately saying, no, it can't be. Just try to listen and take it with an open mind and ask God, like true God, to give you confirmation and show you and let you see it for yourself. And speaking of that, I saw this TikTok the other day, and this mother was saying how God sent her a message telling her not to take her daughter to see Taylor Swift. And the mom was kind of freaking out because she was afraid to tell the daughter and how the daughter would react. And she said the daughter was surprisingly okay with it in the moment. And the daughter told her the following day that she actually received the same message too. And the mom was like, yeah, God was speaking to us both. We were not meant to be at that concert, aka ritual. And because she saw the demonic stuff going on, they both did, right? So God will speak to you, but sometimes it isn't immediate, because there is a lot of distortion. There's a lot of energy that's clouding your ability to communicate with your higher self and with this divine intelligence. But eventually it will always, always find its way to you. So just try to let go of the attachments, try to surrender to the unknown, and let the truth come to you. I was there as well. I remember being down the rabbit hole in, I don't know, middle school, high school. I used to stay up till like 2 a.m. on the weekends. It was my thing. And I would be watching all these YouTube videos. And I remember thinking to myself, like, this resonates, but it can't be true. Like, there's no way it can't be true. And I would like have this thought in my head, like the age of 15. So I've been there, and sometimes it takes time where like it takes a minute to kind of wrap your head around it, and you deserve that time to give yourself to dissect all of it. And I know how it looks. Everything is inverted. Everything is flipped upside down. Everything is backwards. What you think isn't, and what you don't think is. And we know we're in spiritual warfare. We know there is a war on consciousness. They're just, there's been this battle for human freedoms and sovereignty. And we know this. It's been going on for forever. And the way I see it, Kamala is working against human freedom and sovereignty. And regardless of what she's telling you, because we can't look at words, we need to look at actions, we need to look at energy. And I believe that the elites, those that are involved in the trafficking, the pedo rings, they are really doing the most absolute sickening things that you could possibly imagine. And it's coming out with the Diddy trials. There are over 100 victims that are telling their stories. I don't know if anyone's paying attention to it, but if you want me to recap, it's going to be a gnarly episode, but I'll do it. Or just do your own research, because like what is happening with everything coming out with Diddy, they're doing the same things in politics, in other sectors of Hollywood. It's no different. And if you caught my reel the other day, I was showing Biden's Halloween party with dressing up with a panda eyes. You know what? I would recommend going and looking up something that Orlando Brown said. Actually, I'm gonna try to add it right here so you can just hear it from me here.
Like I was telling you, panda. So you got panda panda is a secret code for a certain thing. And so when it comes down to that certain thing, it's so what it is you basically have a certain nerve in your rectum, and if you touch that nerve, you can turn a person into an animal. You can turn a person into whatever you want them to be if you just hold them down. So pretty much when you see black eyes like Blueface and shit like that, he got beat up, but he didn't get beat up where you thought he got beat up. He got beat up somewhere else. Okay? And so the eyes come out, and they call them panda eyes. And they do this to, so you see people with these cigars, and they're all these big celebrities, they all have the cigar in common. That's that big ass thing between their legs that they're sticking in. And it's one big society of.
Okay, so I just had a coughing fit. My eyes won't stop watering. I don't know energetically what is going on right now. But like I said, they are abusing women and children. They are hoarding wealth and resources. They are slowly poisoning us and our planet, feeding us lies, keeping our true history from us. And yeah, they're not just in the Democratic Party. They are in both. The Republican Party, they're not saints. They're not angels. They're not innocent in all of this. But this energy is much more in the Democratic Party than the Republican Party. And again, I'm just reading the energy. The only bias I have is that I know evil, and when I see evil, I don't want anything to do with it. The Democrats, to me, like when I tune into them, I feel disgust. I feel repelled. And it's not to be said in a mean way. It's just the honest truth of what I feel. Why am I disgusted? Why would I possibly feel this way for no reason? If they had no connection to the satanic rings, why are we all intuitively feeling that? And why are they doing things to show us that that is the case? Biden, over the last 4 years, has significantly decreased the well-being of the average American. Like, it's almost impressive. I feel like that takes skill, and it was done with intention, done with a plan, a well thought out plan. And you guys know I don't say this lightly. You know what I've been through. I know it when I see it, and I see demonic energy in that woman. I see evil in that woman. And for those of you who are new here, just a really quick recap. I went through this pretty insane experience, definitely the hardest thing to ever happen to me, happened for me. It was quite literally an attack by a dark witch, someone with intent to harm me and stopping at absolutely no length to do so. And not only that, but she had a group of people with a very high skill level of voodoo and witchcraft, and those who have been very good at maintaining oppression and control for a very, very long time. Longer than this, but my dynamic with them dates back to ancient Egypt. It was me against several people trying to navigate my way through it. Why? Because I didn't want to work with them, for them. I chose light, I chose God. People really have absolutely lost their minds. Obviously, we know the mind control is a really big thing here. I've been wanting to say this for a while too, but like the MK Ultra, then there's a well-known spiritual influencer who is basically named after MK Ultra, but people aren't making that connection. The mind control is insane, and they have so many people have just really lost their minds and lost their light and their heart, and it makes them do bad things, and people can be dangerous, and that is just fact. And through this experience, I have seen evil in a raw and pure form over and over and over again, face to face with Satan, using every ounce of energy I had to fight it off and fight for my own freedom and my own sovereignty. And I am not the only one this is happening to. This is energetic and spiritual warfare. They are attacking our consciousness, our mind, everything. And the only way out is to become aware of the truth. I saw everything that had been done against me, every spell, intent to harm, ill will, all of the AI, still clearing it. I saw who created it. I saw everything they did. And now I am able to recognize that energy anywhere. And I see it in abundance in one of the candidates running for president. I see it in their eyes, their aura. I can hear it in their voice. And again, I keep apologizing. I don't know why, but I am sorry if this is a shock to some of you. If I have upset you, if you look differently at me now, but energy does not lie. And I know the other candidate has many flaws and is a narcissist and has a big ego, shows his immaturity, has beliefs and opinions on how to run this country that I don't agree with and I don't support. And I feel like that makes it hard for a lot of people to support him as well, because I feel that people, and women especially, are getting hung up on a few of his policies and his beliefs and only really looking at that and not able to see the big picture, obviously including women's rights and abortion laws and, the LGBTQ community. Listen, I am pro-choice. I had an abortion. I believe in body autonomy. But then you look at the Democrats' beliefs around body autonomy, and they say your body, your choice with abortion, but in so many other areas, this falls short. And you know what? Over the last 4 years, Biden did nothing about abortion. Like, it is still in the hands of the states. So why are we thinking that anything is going to be different? Because no matter what candidate goes into office, I don't really think there's going to be a change. But I'm a woman and I'm saying these things, like, I think I'm also getting frustrated with other women saying, like, you don't support women and blah 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 because you're, choosing to vote for the other candidate. And it's just like the attacks from the Democratic Party, like the aggression and the rage when their beliefs are challenged shows more of a level of immaturity to me than anything else. And I feel like we need to zoom out on all of this, like women's rights, body autonomy, gay rights, all extremely important and extremely important to me. And I will continue to fight for equal rights for everyone. But we need to look at the bigger picture, because what the other party is capable of is so much more dangerous. And you might be thinking, wow, how could you say that? Or really, I don't know about that. Yes, I do not say this lightly. The Democrats paint a pretty picture that they are educated, informed, progressive, that they want the best for everyone, yet their actions have never matched their words. It's all a mask, it's all talk. And here's the main difference, in my opinion, the most important between the two candidates. And this is, and again, I have not voted up until this point. My ballot has not even come in yet. So I don't know if I will be voting. I will let you guys know if that's the case. But here's the most important thing between the two, in my eyes. You have one candidate who has no intention to actually better the lives of Americans. They have their own agenda and are involved, allegedly, in what I would describe as criminal activity. Then there is another candidate who is a narcissist. So is she, though. They all are. They all are, not just the two candidates. A lot of politicians. Has a negative ego, lacks professionalism. I believe she also lacks professionalism in many ways as well. And I'm not only saying this because my opinions, I only think it's fair to point out these qualities in both of them, not just one. He has aggression, is coming from a wounded place, but the difference is they want to actually better this country. That's the difference. It's the intention, because it is exactly what will manifest for us in the next 4 years. You have a candidate who does not want to make things better. That is their intention, regardless of what they're telling you. You can't go by what's coming out of their mouth. You need to read them. You need to read the energy. You need to be intuitive about it and detach from the stories in your head already. I literally cried tears of sadness when Trump was first elected. Okay. I've been where you are as a Democrat my whole life, up until 8 years ago, maybe, when I decided both parties were bullshit and I stayed out of politics, did not vote, and now here I am. I'm extremely vocal about a Republican. I get it. It's a big shattering of reality. And then you have another candidate who has many issues, yes, who lacks some morals, who, but their intention is to make things better. And because of that, it will become better, because intention is everything. And it's going to get better because that is the intention. It's as simple as that. Is he going to do it perfectly? No, it's not going to be perfect, but it's going to be a heck of a lot better than letting someone who wants the opposite to lead the way. The Democrats are doing everything they can to stay in power and keep Trump out of office. Why? Drain the swamp? What do you think he meant by that? Elon Musk also, in an interview, said that the Democrats don't want Trump elected because he's going to leak the names that are on the man who owns the islands list. Obama, Beyonce, a lot of people in the Democratic Party that are at these rallies are also on these lists, are also connected to Diddy. It doesn't really make any sense. Like, it's so obvious to me that they are all connected and they are all involved and they are all working for the same master, the same group, the same energy. Obama, to me, is the biggest scam of my life, because I really believed he was a good guy. And now I see that they are bad people. And I just don't understand how so many names that are on the Diddy list are endorsing Kamala, there's just nothing else to say. It's like, I would love someone who sees all of this and is still choosing to vote for her to explain this to me, like what they see this connection is, or if they believe there is no connection at all. No politician is a saint. None of them are perfect. We are, in my opinion, choosing between not great and bad. But if you have to think about this, every truth seeker who's gone down the rabbit hole, who has dedicated so much time over the last, let's just even say 4 years, right? Because a lot of people woke up in 2020 and started to dig. They've dedicated so much time and energy to this quest, and they've completely transformed as well because of the inner work and the shadow work that is required to go down the rabbit hole. You don't start digging for truth and keep your old life in the matrix. You find yourself in darkness and you have to look at your own shit. And these truth seekers, if they weren't already, most of them have shifted parties and have shifted their beliefs because of these veils that have lifted for them over the last several years, if not longer. Many of them also know that parties are irrelevant and both are corrupt. But in this election, the truth seekers are in agreement on who they're supporting because they've seen something. The same thing I'm seeing too. I never, ever, ever, ever thought I would say this about any candidate, really, that I'd prefer one over the other, but the veils have lifted and it's okay to also change your mind. And these truth seekers, they're all intuitive and for the most part out of the system. And I feel like many who are still very strongly supporting the Democratic candidate are not as spiritually inclined. I don't know how else to put it. Like, they're just not on this path. They haven't gone down the rabbit hole to see it themselves, which is totally fine. It's not for everyone. And I'm not speaking on every individual, every Democrat. This is more a generalization of what I'm seeing within the collective, the Democrat collective. I feel like they have a hard time seeing other possibilities and get very triggered, emotional, and hypocritical when their beliefs are challenged. They're still in the system. Again, there's nothing wrong with that because we've all been there. But it is like a difference in consciousness, really, because the people that have gone down the rabbit hole don't have that same reaction when their beliefs get challenged because we've already been stripped of everything we thought we knew. We've already had our beliefs challenged, and everything that was not truth started to fall away. And we now know that, like, we know our truth so strong that we're not going to have these visceral reactions. And I feel like people down the rabbit hole are a little bit more accepting of that others aren't quite there yet or hold different beliefs and kind of honor that a little bit better. And so it's just interesting that we're kind of all in agreement about this. I speak for all of us, but we will continue to fight for what we believe and know in our hearts is the right way forward, the best for all humans. Even if you are against us, hate us, or trying to stop us, even though you are working against us and putting so much energy into keeping these systems alive. We're doing it for us, for you, for this whole planet. We will continue to fight to demolish these systems, even if you don't understand why just yet. And I actually saw this other video on TikTok of a Democrat who went to a Trump rally. And she shared her experience and said, it's probably going to surprise a lot of people. If I can find the video, I think I might have saved it. I'll link it below. Basically, she said everyone was really nice. She was able to have actual conversations about opposing views without any Republicans getting angry, aggressive, or shutting her down. She said some of them even agreed with her, like on certain people and on certain policies, especially around abortion, where there are circumstances where it is okay up to a certain point in time, and many of them also agreed and understood that. She said everyone was tolerant of other beliefs and also is able to see where the cracks were within the Republican Party and where they could be doing better. This girl also said she has, dabbled in astrology and understands the shifts coming with Pluto in Aquarius, and how many of the speakers at this Trump rally also mentioned the shifts and used terms like freedom and progressive and rebellion and revolution, diversity, open minds, radical change, unique. She said these are also all words used to describe Pluto and Aquarius as well. So they are tuned in that way. She said Trump said he wants to bring back the golden age. And like, listen, sure, but it's been a long time since we've been in a golden age. And yeah, we are moving toward that, right? So obviously it's going to take time to get there. But it goes back to what I'm saying about intention. Like, this is his intention to lead us into a golden age. Like, and the thing is, again, don't listen to just the words, right? Like I've been saying this whole podcast, look at the energy, because the energy at Kamala's rallies, which I'll get to in a minute, is a completely different energy than what people are experiencing at Trump rallies that are saying it's positive. And Kamala is also saying like positive, quote unquote, things, but yet people are fighting and screaming at children and being taken over by entities, which I'm going to get to. Let me just finish this last little bit. This girl also in the video said that Chris Kelly, I think his name is, went on stage and had everyone who was a former Democrat raise their hand. And then he said, this is a party of unity, of acceptance, and we have room for you here. So back to what's been happening at the Kamala rallies. There was and again, right, I believe that they are siphoning energy. There are demonic entities that are present at these rallies, and you can see it in people's eyes. So there are videos of, I do have this video saved, so I will post it in the notes. There is a man who is standing behind her and has been completely, his eyes are rolling in the back of his head and he is being taken over by something. I know, because this is my job, okay? Like, I know what it looks like when there is a spirit entering someone's body, and then it leaves, or and then when he kind of comes back, he's just blank stare, just a blank stare for as long as the video goes on for. Then there was a woman screaming at a child. It's like the energy of what they're creating at these rallies, like this is how it's manifesting in the people. Whereas at Trump rallies, it's positive. Like, this is what I'm saying. Like, it's a different vibe. And I think people are also holding on to 8 years ago when Republicans were also acting crazy, because I've seen this in both parties, right? But that's just not the reality right now. It's not the reality anymore. I feel like a lot of people have really, really grown, including myself, over the last 4 years, over the last 8 years. And so you can't base it off the past. We have to look at how people are showing up in this moment in time. Okay, so I kind of want to tie everything in together right now. I'm still kind of on the rallies because there's more. There was a rally in Philly that Obama spoke at, where that is where the video is of that rolling, that guy, eyes rolling into the back of his head. Like I said, it looks like a demonic entity has taken over. There are more videos like that. It's not just the one time. Many people online, spiritual people, are also coming out and saying they're seeing a demon in Kamala. I'm not the only one who sees it. I'll be honest, when I started seeing these other people posting, I'm like, thank you so much for speaking out, because I felt alone for a while. At a rally in Houston, that was the video of the woman screaming at the young girl. And again, a manifestation of their energy and this dark portal that they're opening, the energy harvesting that's taking place, the energy harvesting that was also taking place at Biden's Halloween party, and then Kamala Harris being at the rally. So Beyonce being at Kamala's rally, who it is rumored that she got paid $10 million. Yet people in Asheville are still suffering, have nowhere to go. The Red Cross got up and packed out. I can't even talk right now. They packed up, the Red Cross, and yet there is millions of dollars going to this woman who is, I don't even know what to call her, a dark entity, but not to the own people of this country that she wants to run, who need help, who need food, who need water, who need shelter. Allie Carter is a victim of Diddy. She is extremely outspoken right now and has name dropped Beyonce as part of it many times. Make the connection, please. What is the relationship between Kamala and Beyonce? Why is she paying her millions to be there, where that money should be going to people that have no food, shelter, and water? Why would Kamala want someone who's very obviously involved in something dark unless they're working together, unless she's part of it, unless they have a deal? So anyway, I think that's where I'm going to stop today. I have a lot more theories on the Democratic Party that are very touchy and sensitive, and I just don't feel ready yet to explain this, to share my piece, because I'm still learning it. I'm still piecing things together. I still don't have, I have my suspicions, but I need more time. I need to do more research. And it just feels a little premature. So anyway, I just wanted to get this episode out before the election, because I think we all deserve to see the truth on both sides and then make an informed decision based on that. So let me know what you guys think. Let me know how you feel. Please, give me feedback. I'm trying my best to be, as neutral as possible and to just share, from both sides of the coin. So two announcements. I will be teaching a 3-month group mentorship called The Sacred Dark. We begin on December 4th. This is going to be a group mentorship where we are learning how to navigate the shadow on our own. Basically, I'm teaching you the same methods that I have used on myself and that I use in session, so you can kind of become your own healer. It will be a beautiful community. We'll be in this together, meeting other like-minded people on the same path. And that all of the information is on my website. I'll link that below as well. And I am getting on TikTok because I have information to share. Obviously, I have the podcast, but I also, there are things that come to me all day long, messages that I'm getting, information that I'm digging up. And Instagram, is great. And I have a beautiful community on there, but I only have a minute and a half to talk. And TikTok just gives me a lot more freedom and flexibility. So if you're someone who's listening to what I'm saying and wants to hear more, please support me on there, a follow, engaging in the content. The way I'm setting this up is that if you have questions, because that's what's been happening, a lot of DMs of like, what do you think about this? What do you think about that? Ask me in the comments on my videos on TikTok, and I will reply and answer your questions that way. That way it's, a lot of other people are able to see it as well. And it's not just a back and forth conversation in the DMs, which I can't do anyway. I, don't have the time for it. So I want to be able to continue to give free information and support you guys. So Lauren on Earth on TikTok. And then one more announcement. I have another free meditation on Insight Timer. This is a light language protection meditation. So the light language that is coming through that you're listening to is essentially building out a shield of protection for you. And so anyone who is, dealing with the dark and the psychic attacks right now and you need help with protection, this is a really good resource. So insighttimer.com/Lauren on Earth. All right, fam. Until next time, I hope you all have a beautiful week ahead. Stay safe, and I'll see you again soon. Bye.